Cutlery made us uglier, and it's time you knew about it. This is the modern overbite, where the upper teeth occlude in front of the lower teeth. It's what dentists aim for when they apply braces, but it's not natural. When humans ate with our hands, clamping down on food and then tearing it, the teeth used to be edge to edge like this. When humans switched from using our hands to using cutlery, the modern overbite became the new normal. In reality, the overbite has shown that the lower jaw has become slightly more recessed. This is Charles Loring Brace IV. His great-grandfather, Charles Loring Brace, corresponded with Charles Darwin about how cooked soft meals and chewing less caused jaws to become more recessed. Brace IV's hunch was even more profound. He was obsessed with ancient humanity and realized before about 1780, every skull he'd ever witnessed had an edge-to-edge bite. His guess was that knives and forks themselves, as well as soft-cooked food, minimized natural forwards growth of the jaws, causing the modern overbite. Brace believed this hunch for about 30 years but didn't find definitive proof. But cutlery use in Europe started about 20 years before it did in America. He asked around looking for skulls that were buried during this 20-year gap. He found them in Rochester, New York. Of the 15 viable skulls, 10 of them had edge-to-edge bites. This was a slither of proof. Only decades later in China did he prove his hypothesis. The Song dynasty started using chopsticks between 960 AD and 1279 AD. Chopstick use started with the aristocracy and then moved down through the classes. In the Shanghai Museum of Natural History, Brace IV found his definitive proof. A scholar who died during the Song dynasty and was pickled in a vat ever since had a clear modern overbite. Brace IV analysed more Chinese teeth and found that almost everyone, from around the Song dynasty up to the modern day, had an overbite, except for some peasants who well into the 20th century still ate with their hands. This proved his thesis, and proves that jaw alignment is not genetic, it's entirely due to environmental factors. These factors are found in this beauty quadrant, which you can read about on page 2 of my book. This is a diagram of the bones of the palate in the roof of your mouth. The lines you see are cranial sutures, and they're where new bone growth occurs. When these sutures are gently pulled apart every day for the first 15 years of your life, new bone forms, and that creates a forward-grown face like this, rather than a recessed face like this. There are 3 ways facial forces expand your palate. 3 parts of the beauty quadrant. Mouth posture, suctioning your tongue against the roof of your mouth, keeping your upper and lower teeth lightly touching, and keeping your lips sealed. How to eat. Chewing tough food protects your face from growing down and backwards. When you clamp tough food with your teeth and pull away from your face using your hands, these suture lines are slightly pulled apart, so the jaws are pulled more forwards and more bone forms. Swallowing. A powerful adult swallow where the tongue always presses hard against the palate also causes the sutures to widen. Read about that on page 30. I recommend you get some tough food like meat. Take a large chunk, clamp it, then tear it away to feel the amount of force that you use, from your jaws to your hands, all the way to your shoulders. No one does this anymore, and I believe it causes both upper and lower jaws to be far more recessed than they naturally should be. For more information about how to apply the beauty quadrant, you can order my book from Amazon. It takes about 20 seconds, just do this, and it's called Beauty Potential: How Facial Beauty is Retained or Lost.